Good afternoon, gentlemen. How are you? How's everybody today? We having a good time? Wonderful. Let's clap. Come on. Thank you. Welcome, everybody, to the Academy at Glengary. My name is Ambassador Stewie Bitterman. It's a title I had never had 2 years ago. I'd like to welcome our board of directors as well as my fellow ambassadors. Thank you all for your continued support. And speaking of ambassadors, I'd like to thank Sharon and Paul Steinwalks of the Steinwalks Family Foundation for their matching gift today. I'm very excited to announce that any donations made today will be matched dollar for dollar up to $20,000 by their foundation. Thank you very much for your help. Also, I'd like to thank Rick Gregoria, president of Williams Parker Law Firm, who is sponsoring our event, and David Verinder, CEO of Sarasota Memorial Healthcare, who's our guest speaker today. Thank you for both. On another note, I'd like to welcome our online viewers. Thanks to our innovative technology with our skills of our members and our staff, we'll be live streaming the Luncheon online today. If your program inspires you today, you can log on to our website, or you can call the number shown right here to make a donation. Operators are willing and able right now to accept your donations. We have 7 of them. It now gives me great pleasure to turn the mic over to Lori and Phil, who will start our program. Let's hear it for Lori and Phil. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you, Stu. Thank you, Stewie. And welcome again to our Ambassador Luncheon. Stewie has been a big supporter of ours from the very beginning. We are so fortunate to have such an incredible ambassador for mental health causes associated with the Academy. Hello, my name is Philip. I'm one of the vocational instructors here, and this is Lori.
Hi, everyone. I've been a member here since July of 2017. I've joined a wonderful community here where I've gained many computer, customer service, and social skills. I plan to use these very skills in my future job as a peer recovery specialist. For now, I enjoy my job at the Cheesecake Factory, which I recently started with the help of the Academy job coach, Jody Lee Weiss.
Lori, that is awesome. I remember meeting with you before we were even open full-time for training. You were here on an open house day, and you shared with me your passion for getting back to work. It has been amazing to see your advancement here at the Academy and beyond.
Yeah, Phil, now our Academy is almost 2 years old. We are so honored to have everyone here to share our success since starting our mission in Sarasota. Our members and staff work together to help in the recovery process of those living with a mental illness. We could have never made it to this point without the help of all you here today.
That's so true, Lori. Our beginning, though, is really due to a woman with a vision for making a positive change in our community, much like yourselves. That leader is our board president. Please help us welcome her to the podium now, Joan Geyer.
I'll do as I did at the groundbreaking. Give me a minute to just look around and absorb this. It's months in the planning. Thank you to our wonderful staff, our members, our volunteers. Our board is here. I'm the board chair. Andrea Jackson, Don Osborne, Giselle Sulfur, oh, right in front of me. Deputy Chief Pat Robinson is out keeping us safe on the streets, so he couldn't be here today. And also to our wonderful ambassadors. Paul and Sharon Steinwalks are right here. Sheriff Tom Knight, who isn't only just an ambassador, but he's a community partner. He helps people understand his side of the vision of what the Academy can do for the community. Steve and Barbara Armstrong, where are they? Saw them earlier. Linda Canoyer and Scott Eller. Thank you to all these people. They were with us from the very beginning, as many of you in the room have been, helping us spread the word, bringing people in for tours. We couldn't do it without you, so thank you for being here. So now we're so very pleased to have the law firm of Williams Parker, Harrison, Dietz, and Getson as our sponsor. For over 90 years, the firm has stressed the importance of commitment to clients, service to the community, and devotion to their clients. The firm exists to help its clients implement their vision.
As you can see from the photo behind us of the Academy groundbreaking, they have done just that. As the managing partner of the firm, Rick Gregoria has helped the Academy with the real estate purchase, the necessary contract law, the establishment of the nonprofit, and tax advice. He believes that volunteerism generates long-term prosperity for all of Sarasota. Please join me in welcoming founding Academy Ambassador Rick Gregoria.
That's a tough act to follow. So, first of all, when I was asked to speak, I was thinking, this is the middle of tax season. So let's see, I stopped working about 11 p.m. last night. So if I'm a little bleary, please forgive me. And also, Joan risked giving a podium and a mic to an attorney. I've kept this brief, as she's asked me, so we will see. But let me first start off with, membership at the Academy is a journey for its members and for all of those that are involved. So let me begin by conveying a bit of my personal history that has brought me here today. I've always been a part of the community where I live and work. I volunteer, it gives me purpose, it makes me feel like I'm fulfilled as a human being. Over a decade ago, I had served as president of the Family Counseling Center, some of you may be familiar with. During my tenure in that role, I learned about the challenges faced by adults with mental illness, and sadly, all too often, the lack of adequate solutions. About 5 years ago, I became aware of an organization in Southwest Florida that approached adult mental illness very differently. For me, a lot of times, seeing is believing, and so I made a field trip to this place, and I learned firsthand about the unique and effective approach, which is the very model upon which this academy is based. Specifically, the Academy is comprised of adults from all walks of life who walk through the doors, not as patients, but as equal members, each starting a journey that seeks a pathway to success, a pathway that improves mental health, provides training for careers in various fields, and ultimate employment. But most importantly, membership promotes healing by providing the opportunity for friendship and to develop a true sense of belonging and purpose both within the Academy itself and our community as a whole. To develop a sense of belonging and purpose beyond the walls of the Academy requires community integration. The Academy is a real example, a living example, of a public-private partnership that is a success. In today's world, that is a rarity in and of itself. The partnership is comprised first of the members, the public organizations such as the Florida Department of Children and Families, the Central Florida Behavioral Health Network, Sarasota Memorial Hospital, foundations such as the Brancic Foundation, the Gulf Coast Community Foundation, and the Steinwalks Foundation, to name a few. Numerous employers and donors, and of course, each one of us that is here today. Together, we represent the collective community. To me, the Academy is similar to a nest from which its members ultimately learn to thrive and fly to become a part of the community as a whole. But unlike a typical nest at which one provides only a temporary home, the Academy offers a welcoming home and refuge to all of its members, both new and old. Okay, so how do I know the Academy really works, and how do I know it's different? So let me circle back to my field trip. When I did that field trip many years ago, I had the true privilege, and this was not rehearsed, wasn't planned, of celebrating the birthday of a young man who had previously been homeless and on the streets for many, many years. He looked just like I looked. He looked like each one of you looked. You would have never known. After becoming a member at this other academy, he had worked very hard at developing his skills, and he ultimately obtained a job at a defense contractor, a job that he was not only able to retain for about 5 years and still was employed there, but also accelerate and advance. He looked at me and he told me with pride and this beaming smile that I will forever remember, that how his life had had purpose as he was a contributing member of his community. Despite having been employed for over 5 years, and during such time made many friends, both at work and outside in his community, he chose to celebrate his birthday at the Academy. He said, "This is a special day, and as a member of the Academy, I want to be here." And I noted that he was welcomed with them and greeted by people that celebrated him with love and pride. So I wrap this up, and again, I promise it will be short. Membership at the Academy is the beginning of a journey which improves mental health by leading one's life down a pathway to have a true purpose as not only a member at the Academy, but also a productive member within our community. That's what makes the Academy different. Please consider joining us in this journey. I thank each of you for being here, and trust me, you'll never regret it. Thank you.
Mr. Gregoria, thank you for your words of inspiration. Next up, we want to introduce someone who has taken full advantage of the opportunities that the Academy has to offer. He just began working a transitional employment position at Doctor's Hospital. Transitional employment provides our members paid temporary employment opportunities with a high level of job coaching support from our staff.
Yeah, it has been very exciting to see the motivation in Michael and to see the progressive changes that have come with it. He has just begun working at Doctor's Hospital as a dietary aide, and he is already making an impression on his coworkers. Michael is a very smart and thoughtful young man, but he's also easily able to crack a joke in the kitchen. That helps too. We have all had the pleasure of getting to know the best characteristics of Michael, and we're happy to introduce him. Please welcome Michael Sanacor.
So, this is where I'm supposed to tell you about how the tale of my mental illness brought me to my knees, how it disrupted my path, how it smothered my hopes and dreams, tell you war stories of my lost battles with depression and the harrowing aftermath of mania. I'm not going to do that. While my mental illness certainly has been a factor, it's not only why I'm here. My life was on a fast track to disaster long before I ever heard the term bipolar disorder. It was obvious by the time I was a teen that I was lazy, I was manipulative, and I was a bit of a coward. If I had the opportunity to let someone down, it was a safe bet I would. By the time I left high school for my ill-fated stint in college, I was a practiced and inveterate liar and a stalwart underachiever. The writing was on the wall. I was a loser, and I was well on my way to being a failure. By the time I was in my early 20s, I was choking on the ashes of burnt bridges. If I could hold a job for longer than 2 months, it was a minor miracle. The only times my parents weren't paying my rent was when I was couch surfing. Tomorrow took too much effort to plan for, and yesterday was in the past. Some of us are just bad at taking care of themselves. Some people are just disappointments. I really had two things in my favor: a sort of natural charm that enabled me to worm and weave my way into people's lives, and parents who loved me. And despite how many times I betrayed their trust, they've never given up on me. It wasn't enough that I was doing an exceptional job of making sure no one would ever trust or depend on me. Fate decided I couldn't trust or depend on myself either. I still remember the incredible anxiety at being given a diagnosis and the surprising relief at learning the name of my madness, bipolar disorder. The worst part of all of this, it wasn't the disease. It was that this was the perfect excuse. Now I had a doctor's note for being a screw-up. I was a card-carrying lunatic, so no one could be mad that my life was in shambles. Here's the rub, though. Everything I just told you, while the truth, is also a lie. Depression is not just the heavy blanket it is so commonly described as. Most see it as analogous to apathy or lethargy, the sin of sloth running rampant. That isn't entirely accurate. It is not passive. It is cousins with anger, with rage, with self-loathing and shame. It is fed by passion. I wanted to believe for so long that I was not a good person, that I was a bad seed, because then I could just write everything off. I deserved to be sick. I believed that. Sometimes I still do. Mental illness rarely just happens. It does for some, but for most, even when you have a genetic predilection for a specific illness, it takes something to trigger it. It took a long time, endless hours of therapy, of self-reflection, of failures and successes, but eventually I was forced to face a truth. I am not a villain. I'm a victim. I won't get into the gruesome details, but like so many of us here, trauma was involved. It wasn't obvious at the time, but it didn't need to be. The damage was done. I was hurt. I was afraid. I was angry. And I didn't know why. I didn't know the reason I was in so much pain. So I blamed myself. I punished myself. I wanted the world around me to resemble the landscape inside. My self-destruction gave me a false sense of control. Most of you heard all the stories. You have seen or lived through anything I can tell you in regards to my battle with manic depression. I eventually learned all of the mental judo, the Jungian archetypes and the Freudian stuff. There is no thinking away the ebb and flow of manic depression, and I've built a ship of the mind handily capable of navigating those cerebral seas. And just like how a sailor views the sea, I'm not afraid of my mental illness anymore. But the moment I stop respecting it, I know it will drown me. Despite having earned a master's degree in navigating manic depression and realizing that my behavior, even in my youth, was a defense mechanism run amok, that doesn't mean you were suddenly equipped with the skills and experience necessary to navigate through life. I was and still am not close to self-sufficient. I never learned how to be an adult. Getting a handle on my manic depression is one thing. I still had to turn around and acknowledge my past. The real work was to reverse the years I conditioned myself into believing that I was worthless. I needed a place where I can learn to stand, then learn to walk, and maybe someday even run. That is where the Academy in Glengary came in. It's not a place to get better, but it is a place to get stronger. I don't come for therapy or counseling. I don't come here for treatment or practicing coping mechanisms. I come here to learn discipline and accountability. I come here to be held to expectations. I come here to grow up. It's hard to describe how special this place is. To have a place where I don't feel judged or shamed or weak for my flaws, a place where every small step I take towards standing on my own is celebrated. A sanctuary as well as a crucible. For the first time in as long as I can remember, I began to feel pride that wasn't immediately followed by shame. There aren't sufficient words to describe how that feels. To begin to have hope that you can have agency in your life again. To be given the opportunity to show yourself that you are capable, that you have worth, and that you can take back the reins. I've been a member of the Academy for a little over a year, and as of this week, I'm part of the Transitional Employment Program at Doctors Hospital. Since I've been here, I've baked naan and made dumplings from scratch. I've expedited luncheons and helped design menus for 100+ seat events. I've learned how to emulsify into julienne. I can butcher a chicken and artfully blame an oven for my mistakes. All that being said, it isn't the culinary skills I've picked up that matter. It is my sense of self-worth, the feeling of pride untempered by guilt, the growing knowledge that not only can I be better, but that it is all right for me to be. For the first time in 9 years, I have a job. For the first time in 20 years, I don't go to sleep hoping not to wake up. For the first time that I can remember, I have realistic expectations for myself. The Academy didn't give me a sense of self-worth. It didn't teach me how to stand up. It didn't teach me that it is okay, even right, to feel a sense of pride in my work. It gave me the opportunity to find these things out for myself. My name is Michael Sanacor, and thank you for listening to my story.
That was amazing, Michael. Thank you for sharing your story. I know it resonates with many of us here at the Academy. We can't wait to see what is next for you.
Now we will break for a brief intermission. The servers will be coming around to clear your plates. Online viewers will be back in 5 minutes. Now's a great time to call to make a donation. Please take your seats, everybody. We're going to get started again. Thank you. You're a chatty bunch.
Welcome back. Next, I would like to introduce William Mckeever, the director of the Academy. He has devoted his life to mental health advocacy. His vision for the Academy is one for us to rally around. He has been instrumental in building this organization around the principles of compassion and perseverance. Please help us welcome William Mckeever.
Good afternoon, folks. So glad that you could join us today, and thank you for taking time to share a bit of our community with you. So we have this wonderful technology in our multimedia team, and so I'm going to make use of their skills. I hope you all are ready, right? So I want to start with a slide, with a photo, if I can have the first photo. All right, so I love this picture. We took this picture 2 days ago. And as you notice, we have a nice garden, a small garden in our backyard. Thanks to Steve Weinberger, one of our volunteers, we have, I think, about a dozen raised beds. And so we're able to produce vegetables and herbs, and we use those in our kitchen and in our dining room. And, you know, we're really moving towards wellness. It's such an important theme in what we do here at the Academy. In our dream, we have this beautiful backyard. Our dream is to put in a botanical garden where we're producing all of the fruits and vegetables and herbs that we need on a daily basis. And that's a dream that we have for the backyard. But that farm-to-table approach is really a nice way of thinking about how we solve problems in the world. And the farm-to-table approach really suggests a philosophy that if we want to solve problems, we need to begin in our own backyards. We need to begin in our families, in our neighborhoods, in our communities to solve those problems. And so there's that local feel, that local flavor. And you know, when we go back several years, the Academy was really founded on that belief that we want to solve some problems locally. And I want to take you back a few years. So I have another slide that I'd like to share. Does anybody know where that property is? Can anybody recognize that? If you look in the middle, there's an awning there. That is Glengary Massage. So this picture was actually taken from that corner. And 4 years ago, we had a group of about 20 ambassadors. Many of those ambassadors are with us today. We started a conversation about mental health and rehabilitation and what we wanted to do. And so when this land was purchased, there was all kinds of excitement. You know, we're going to build something new. We're going to have this new project. But I'm going to confess, inside of me, there was a bit of angst. There's this phrase, if you build it, they will come, right? Well, I didn't know if that was actually going to be true. And then I wondered if they do come, will the folks that come really get the benefit that we were hoping out of this experience? So that was 4 years ago, and we had community partners, those ambassadors that supported us along the way. So I'd like to point out someone that, for me, before time, supported us and believed in us, and those are the folks that are providing a challenge matching gift for today. Paul, Sharon, and Jeff Steinwalks. And we like to be a little spontaneous here. Sometimes I say it's just us being us. So Paul knows what's coming. So I'm going to challenge. So we have these beautiful cameras that we're learning how to use. So I'm hoping that one of you can track me. So I want to go over to Paul and ask you, Paul, if you might share a word or two.
Okay. Thank you, William. I want to actually thank you for letting me remember my grammar school and high school times, because in grammar school and high school, I hated thinking they're going to call on me for a question or something like that. Well, William called me up yesterday and said, Paul, would you say a few words, just say something? I said, well, William, I don't really like doing that stuff, okay? But, if you really want to, I said, I'll do it, but, So William said, well, I'll play it by ear, and maybe I'll call on you, and maybe I won't, okay? Well, he called on me. So thank you, William. I remember grammar school just like that, you know. Yeah. But seriously, I'm not going to say very much other than to say that, you know, my wife, my son, and myself run this small little foundation. It's not a huge thing. It's not a big thing in that. But, you know, we get together and we talk about different things that we want to donate to. And, you know, my son gives me a budget in which I'm able to contribute so much money. And, you know, we talk about things. And, of course, my son's got different ideas of what he wants to support, and I have certain ideas, and my wife has other ideas. But I've got to say that the Academy is probably one of the only thing that we all agree on totally, okay, and we all are 100% behind it, you know, and you know, it's something that, you know, that's why we put this challenge out here today, and you know, I might be over budget, okay, if you hit that level, okay, but I don't really care, okay, you know, put me over budget, you know, just write a check and I will match it. And some people say, well, well, they're going to get the money anyways. Well, that's not really the case. We're out there, you know, I'm saying to William, okay, you know, if you can get support from the community, okay, I'm willing to match that support, okay, but I'm just not going to write you a check and just say that's it, and you're going to get it no matter what. So, you know, put me over budget, please, and write that check, okay? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Paul. So we're fortunate to have family foundations that support us, and I'd also like to point at the Melissa Wyde Family Foundation that also supports us. So I want to just share a word about our beginning with those partners. As Rick mentioned, we're a public-private partnership. So at this stage, we engaged in a conversation with Central Florida Behavioral Health Network, which manages money through Department of Children and Families, what sounds like a lot of words. But basically, we receive a portion of state funding with the understanding that we would build private support across the community to create a quality facility and a quality program. So some of you that are new to us might ask, so what is the solution? What exactly do you do here? You heard a little bit from Michael about his experience. So, okay, multimedia, slide 3. You guys ready? If I were to sum up what we do in just a few words, it would be a community at work. We're a community that cares, that support each other, where there's acceptance. And then we're also a community that works. So what we do in the building during the day is be productive, share our talents and skills, develop those talents and skills, and move towards gainful employment and embark on a career. To the left, you'll notice that we're accredited by Clubhouse International, and we're proud members of the Clubhouse movement. It's an international movement. I believe we probably have Clubhouse colleagues from across the world watching us live, so a big shout out to our Clubhouse colleagues. And so the movement, we didn't create this model, and it's important to say that. But it was our job, partners and families, to implement the Clubhouse model here in Sarasota, to develop community partners, to build our employment partners, and to make it a reality. So I'd like to go back, if I can, finish up with the first slide, if we can go back. So farm to table, I want to end with this. So, you know, the farm to table approach philosophically for me is just a nice concept. We live in a world that the problems sometimes seem insurmountable and overwhelming. And how do we approach that? We had one of our close friends mentioned to me the other day, said, I travel. There's some serious problems in the world, and I don't even know how to impact that. The farm to table approach suggests that if we want to solve problems, we need to begin in our own backyard. We need to begin with our relationships in our house, in our family, in our neighborhood, on our streets, in our communities here in Sarasota. And that if we're able to solve those local problems, we'll make this world a better place. Thank you.
Thank you, William. I liked your part about the garden. So are we the tomatoes or the parsley? Anyways, it's a privilege to introduce our next speaker. As the president and CEO of Sarasota Memorial Healthcare, he has dramatically expanded and improved the community's access to high-quality care. He has somehow still found the time to be a consistent supporter of the Academy since our inception. He was instrumental in forging an employment partnership with us, providing meaningful work for our members in a culture steeped in the values of respect, inclusion, and dignity. Here he is at the groundbreaking, if we could show that. He's got a shovel, and it contains another value that is near and dear to him. His shovel says caring. Please welcome to the podium a man we are grateful to call a friend of the Academy, David Verinder. David, I wondered if you might be able to sign this shovel. What do you think?
Sign my shovel?
Yeah. We got a Sharpie ready to go.
I can't believe y'all kept this. Where do you want me to sign it?
Oh, damn it, it's good.
There?
Yeah. Right on the spade.
There you go.
All right.
Put it on
Thank you. Yeah. We'll get it on eBay. You're a rock star. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I got to tell you, though, I never want to speak after Michael. All right? Where are you, Michael? Are you still here? Beautiful story. Thank you for sharing that. It's very inspiring, and I'm going to apologize because I'm not going to measure up to that already. But Joan invited me to speak today, and I couldn't be more honored to accept. I wasn't sure she would let me come back after the first time I came. I kept begging my way back, and Joan, it's just amazing what you and your board and William, what y'all have done out here. It's all inspiring every time you come out. As was said, I've been a supporter, or we have been a supporter. Sarasota Memorial has been a supported academy since the beginning. We had a pleasure of being here at the groundbreaking back when the land looked like the massage parlor in the background. All right, it was pretty amazing. In 2017, our healthcare foundation, Sarasota Memorial Healthcare Foundation, was able to make a grant too, and we look forward to continuing to support through that way as well. So when we did we did the shovel thing, and then we came out when the building was built, and I got to tell you, I didn't know what to expect. I came out here, and I probably, for those of you who are here for the first time today, which probably isn't many of you, most of you have probably been supporters all along, you took the tour and you looked around and you said, wow. I mean, you could not believe it went from where it was to where it is. And showing the members here, showing us around, showing us what they did every day, what programs are in place, it is just awe-inspiring. Sorry, I brought a glass of water because I'm losing my voice and almost spilt it. But I will tell you, I went back to my office that day and I called Lori Bennett, who's the head of our HR department. Lori, would you stand, raise your hand, do something there? Okay. Now, she's in charge of ensuring we have over 6,000 employees at the hospital and the healthcare system, making sure they're all happy, right? Yeah. And anyway, so I said, Lori, you got to get connected over there, and we've got to see what we can do because I think that's a tremendous value to our organization as well as to the community, and that didn't take long at all. She was all in, and so I appreciate you for doing that. So soon after that, we formalized our collaboration, and we saw our first Glengary Academy member starting work a few weeks ago as the hospital nutrition aid and food nutrition department. And Sarah, hope you don't mind me calling you out. Thank you. We've enjoyed having you so much at the hospital, and we look for a long time that you remain there as long as you wish. Okay, thank you. And it was a beautiful lunch today too. It's a win-win for everyone. It's a win for Sarasota Memorial because we're always looking for new ways to work with the community partners to fill positions at the hospital. And with our region's rapid population growth and increased demand for health care, Sarasota Memorial's the largest employer in the region at like I said, over 6,000 employees right now. So we're always looking at ways to collaborate. Glengary is helping to meet that need and then going the extra mile and providing ongoing coaching and support. So thank you. The partnership, when the nutrition aide completes the 11-week program, she will be eligible to apply for one of our permanent positions, and other Academy members will take her place. So, Sarah, we're looking forward to that. Hopefully, you'll consider staying with us. Okay. Our team's been very happy with the collaboration. It's a particularly good fit for us because one of our key programs is our Bayside Center for Behavioral Health Hospital. Bayside has served the community for many years, so we know the importance of helping individuals enter and return to the workplace and integrate into the community. We're excited about the future of our partnership and working with you to enhance the continuum of behavioral health care. This summer, Bayside plans to open a partial hospitalization program and an intensive outpatient program. These services will provide patients with a high level of outpatient care as an alternative to or transition from inpatient treatment. The step-down programs are designed to strengthen the stabilization with the goal of preventing a hospital stay. They will be a great resource for Glengary members, and the relationship will be reciprocal, as the Academy will be a resource for the patients exiting our programs, helping to strengthen their integration back into the community. I'd like to close by acknowledging how fortunate we are to have Glengary and its terrific programs and helping Glengary members realize their potential while helping Sarasota Memorial provide excellent service to our patients. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Scott. I came to the Academy in July of 2017, right after we first opened our doors.
You did.
Yep.
And I am Jody. We all wear a few different hats here, so I've had the opportunity to work with Scott in several different capacities.
Jody is my job coach, but she's also helped me navigate myriad social and work-related situations here at the Academy. Myriad. Jody taught me that word. She likes fancy words. She has a strong command of the English language.
Indubitably.
When I first came here, I struggled with social interactions and keeping appropriate boundaries in my personal relationships with my peers, and it led to a few uncomfortable situations. I remember Jody helping to reel me in to create awareness and mindfulness of my behavior without being confrontational or judgmental.
Scott, may I give you a bit of advice?
Yes, Jody started many a conversation with that phrase. Since those talks, I feel more comfortable in my own skin when I'm around people. This may not sound like vocational training, but it has definitely benefited me on the job. I've always been able to get a job on my own, but keeping a job has been a very different story. I'm smart.
Very. What?
All lies, all lies. False perception. But my social angst continually led to misunderstandings, miscommunications, and eventually, every time, getting fired. Other than as an actor, I've never lasted more than a few months on any job. But since joining the Academy last year, I've been able to hold a job at LECOM for more than a year.
And quick plug, Scott is a truly gifted actor. I'm serious, if you ever get the chance to see him on stage, run, do not walk. You are welcome.
As you can see, Jody is a strong advocate for me. The whole staff here is like that. There have been times when I couldn't even get out of bed, but whenever I stop attending the Academy for more than a day or two, I know a staff or a member will be calling to check in and make sure I'm okay. The Academy provides structure and fosters accountability. Without this, I tend to isolate and get very depressed. I find peace in isolation, which is a very, very dangerous place to be. If it wasn't for the Academy, I would be sitting at home, existing, but not living. What motivates me to come back is the people and the sense of community, socialization, and the feeling that I matter. Getting out of my comfort zone and challenging myself to be better than who I was yesterday.
And I have definitely seen you transform. And honestly, Scott, I think working with you has transformed me. I just am so inspired to see the courage that you display. I give you feedback, and you take it, and I've just seen you grow so much and make changes in your life. And so I'm curious, what is it about the Academy that's just different than other parts of your recovery process?
Excellent question. What is instrumental about the Academy is that it promotes overall wellness as a lifestyle, and it's not an end destination. I've said this from day one, that it's a front door leading to an exit door to having an accessible life. I feel that I don't vilify myself. I'm more of a victor. I know I will always be welcome here, but it is a point on the trajectory of my success. Trajectory, another Jodyism.
Well said, Grasshopper.
The Academy is a place where we can grow and evolve and learn skills and strategies and then move on to live productive lives. The staff truly celebrates us when we are able to be more independent, even when it means we attend less often. The staff are genuinely invested in our success.
And now we invite you to invest in the lives of members like Scott, like Michael, like our community of members who have planned and orchestrated this luncheon. I would like to now ask that our Academy members pass out our donation packets to each table. And for our streaming viewers, you may donate by calling the number at the bottom of your screen or by visiting our website. Operators are standing by. And by operators, I mean our volunteers. Yep. Look at Chanel. Look at him. Look at him.
Please open your folder and take out the page on the right side that reads Invest in Lives. At the top of the page, you will see that you have an opportunity to make an instant impact by contributing a one-time donation. Your gift will help provide vocational training, skills development, and job placement for our Academy members. You have the option of donating by check or credit card.
Below this, you will see the second option labeled Sustaining Impact. This recurring monthly donation will allow us to create a foundation for the sustained growth and expansion of our services. This is the best way to join us in ensuring our vibrant future.
Remember, thanks to the generosity of the Steinwalks Family Foundation, can we hear it for them again, please? Menschy, you are a mensch. You epitomize the word mensch. Your gift will be matched dollar for dollar up to $20,000, so there's no better time to donate. We truly appreciate whatever level of support you can provide today. Perhaps you would like to consider a gift of stock or something else. Or may you simply have some great ideas for us. If so, please check the box at the bottom of the page labeled, "Please contact me. I have questions or other thoughts to share." Of course, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask one of us before you leave today. We are happy to help.
Whatever gift you choose to make today, we sincerely thank each and every one of you. And we thank you for really the most important gift of all, your time coming here today. We are just so excited to talk to you and have you learn more about the Academy.
If you choose to make a donation today, please deposit your envelope in the donation box at our front desk, our front reception desk. Of course, if you prefer to take this information home and think about it, you can mail it back to us at your convenience. And I just have to say one thing. All the members here are treated like people and not a paycheck. It's about membership and not money.
Now please sit back and enjoy the slideshow while considering our donation options. It features just some of the Academy members whose lives will be enriched because of your support.
Well, that was some program. Let's hear it for everybody, please. Thank you, Scott and Jody and Lori and Phil. It was an excellent presentation. I must say it was inspiring to hear your stories. When I first got involved with the Academy, thanks to Joan Geyer, I felt a sense of accomplishment and pride at being able to work with the members and the staff. I continue to feel honored to be part of this journey. To end our program today, I'd like to share a quote that I found from a renounced British author, Michael Nolan, that truly resonated with me. He said, "There are many things in life that will catch your eye, but only a few that will catch your heart. Pursue these." Thank you for participating with us, and we hope to see you soon. Please call us if you'd like to come over with a friend, have lunch, to view the facility, and to invite more people to get involved with us. Our members will be serving our desserts right now, so please stay. They are amazing. Thank you again for your support. Let's have a round of applause for everybody today. Thank you for coming.